Hey folks, welcome back. Today we are doing a game review of The Witcher 3. And this has been a long time coming. This game's been out for about 10 years, and I've been looking forward to this moment when I can dive into this game and get into it a little bit. And so today we're going to talk all about it. We're going to talk about this last week, because 1 week ago I started this game for the first time, and we did it live. So every Friday we do live streams of new games for me. And I'll give you my initial thoughts, and we kind of go through it together. And then 1 week, aka today, we do a game review and say, this is what we see after 1 week of play and what we've experienced. And so today, I'm really excited to get into this game. What an adventure I've been through just this last week, and I'm only about 15 hours into the game. There is a lot of hours to go if I do want to complete this, and I probably will. So let's talk about it. First of all, if you don't know me, again, I go by Enrique Suave. I've been playing games since Atari 2600, and I've basically played every console, every genre of game. I love them all. And so I'm using this series to basically play new games that I've just missed or just didn't have the time to get into. And this has been great. We've done 4 other games so far, I think. Every Friday, basically, we start a new game, play it for a week, and see what we get out of it. This game is definitely going to be a game that I play more than just this week. It is awesome. We're going to get into the grading and so forth. But again, if you're not familiar with the Witcher series, I wasn't either. I guess there is a Witcher 1 and 2. I know nothing about them. I just knew that The Witcher 3 always got a lot of good awards, and everybody had nothing good but to say about it. So it's been on my wish list for a long time. At the same time, I knew it would be the type of game that I would want to devote a lot of time to. And you just kind of have to ask yourself, like, is now the time for me to get into this epic saga, kind of thing? And so I think it'll be a little different for everybody, but for the most part, I just have nothing but good things to say about this game. So let's get into it a little bit. Let me show you the template that we like to use for our scoring. Essentially, we're going to talk about the art, what we think about the visuals, the sounds, the immersion. We're going to talk about the fun factor, right? Of like how fun is it really to play this game? Whether it's the combat, whether it's the just interacting with the different systems that the game gives you. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about replayability. Replayability is big of like, do I want to play this game again? How many hours do I want to play of this game? And then finally, we talk value, right? Of for the cost of this game, what are you getting out of it, right? So at the top here, you'll see there's a scoring. We're going to score each category. And then at the very bottom, we're going to basically lump it into a bucket of, is this just a gray item that you're going to sell at the next vendor? Is this an epic or legendary? And that's kind of how we do this. So let's talk art style. So let me clear my screen for just a second and give you an idea here of the art. And actually, let me move this video forward just a little bit. This game is 10 years old, and I tell you what, it really holds up. Here, let me get to where I'm on a boat here. Here we go. Just playing this game feels amazing. It feels like I'm really immersed in this world. Like I care about this environment. I don't know how else to say it. It is beautiful. Most of the time you're traversing on a horse. This part of the game I just happened to be using a boat for the first time, and the shadows, the lighting, the visuals, absolutely stunning. I would say that because it is 10 years old, I do feel like it's probably worth like epic, artwork and so forth like that. But the audio here, hold on, before we get to this little boat part, let me just play the audio for you. I don't know what kind of instrument this is in the background playing, a string instrument of some sort. Everything, all of the audio has been wonderful. And it gives very, very Game of Thrones kind of vibes of this time period. Swords and shields and, wooden boats, right? So, just everything about this has been awesome. Graphically, I would actually say it's probably somewhere to be like epic, right? But not gonna lie, the sound and just the immersion I think it takes it over the top. So I did decide to actually give this a legendary score. For being 10 years old, the last game that felt this clean and polished, and also everything about it felt good. Like to me, as Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders, although it has some issues with other parts of it, I think the art and the graphics and the sound is top tier. And to me, this is there, and probably even more. If I played this 10 years ago, it would have been like, oh my god. So really, really wonderful. I couldn't have asked for more. I think everything about this fits what we're trying to do. And so, yeah, this just blew me away and was everything I expected it to be. I had high expectations going into this game. So kind of keep that in mind. Okay, fun factor. Fun factor is really interesting because is it fun, right? Is it fun to just constantly swing a sword for the most part and, kill enemies and do the same type of quests? At least, again, this is only 1 weekend. A lot of the quests are just kill this guy, kill that guy, pick this item up, bring it back. And the answer is yes. The answer is it is really fun. I thought the characters were fun to interact with. The people in the city, riding the horse, feels really natural. Here, I'll play this again just so you can kind of see a little bit of the fighting. Hold on. Here I'm attacking a little a group of bad dudes basically on the shore here, and
ready for level 9.
And yeah, they're level 9s and I'm a level 6. And so here, let me just so you can see a little bit of the combat, right? So here's my thoughts on the combat. Although the combat is wonderful, it is basically the same thing of dodging and then diving in with an attack. And it might get better than that over time. See, I dodge and then I come in for an attack. Just over and over and over. That's just kind of every bad guy, every monster, it all felt the same, and that's how the game played out. So, what I'll say is there's a couple other things. One is the alchemy part of this game didn't feel like it mattered, honestly. So I was kind of thrown back about that. The parry system, I like a lot of sword and shield stuff, so like I can have a chance to block or something. I didn't feel like the parry was natural in any way, so again, it felt like more like I was just constantly dodging, then coming in with like a quick attack of some sort. And then lastly, the crossbow. It has you use the crossbow early on to fight, I think it was a griffin or something like that, and that was cool, but it feels like an afterthought. Like I was thinking I would maybe become like a crossbow person or something in this game. It is not. It feels like you are a sword person. So what I would say is my only criticism to a lot of these systems is that they feel like they're kind of like they're like a side quest compared to the main quest. The main quest is using your sword and attacking people with a sword. And so for these factors, I decided to give the fun factor here an epic score. It's great, and I love that they give you some different options and things to do, but I will say that some of them are not as flushed out as I had hoped, and they're just not as good as I had hoped. So still a great score, though. Now, replayability. Replayability is interesting because how many times do you want to do this story? Well, what's cool is the game breaks this down from main quests and side quests. So very quickly you can decide, do I just want to play this through and see the story, or do I want to really engulf myself and just really do every quest and help every person and do, you know what I mean? Also, you make choices in this game, which is wonderful. So you really decide how this character fleshes out over time and becomes who they are. So I think replayability is great. I do think, though, the drawback to a game like this is it is epic, right? It is long. It's a lot of work. And so for that reason, I myself, I looked it up, and the gameplay, the main story gameplay is about 50 hours. And if you want to do all the side quests, you're looking at 100 plus hours. I can only imagine me playing this one time through, maybe the main quests, and then maybe replaying it for all the side quests, maybe. But to think of that much time, I don't think I'm going to play this that many hours. There's just more games to play. There's life to live, stuff like that. So I did go ahead and give the replayability an epic score. I do think it's here if you want it. But unlike maybe some games where I want to play them every day or something like this, I'm not quite sure I'm willing to give this many hours of my life away to the same story, same character. I'm not quite sure. So for me personally, the replayability here is just an epic score. Again, still a great score, but not the best I've ever experienced. Lastly, we have value. Now, value is tricky. Again, my calculation with value is, do I get an hour of gameplay for every dollar I spend? Well, this has tons and tons of gameplay to it. And if you're not familiar, you can get this. I picked this up for $3.99 on the Steam sale. This has been at that price range for several years now on different sales. So I think for the $3 or $4 you're paying for this game, the amount of value you get is tremendous. I think there's no question on a game like this, you're getting a legendary value. I mean, like hands down, even full price. I think this is the kind of game, even at full price, $60 or whatever, the full price would have been. I think you're getting your value out of this, no questions asked. So I will just say, you can do the quick math here. I'm really happy to give this a legendary score. I think it earned it. I understand why it's in the top 10 of games sold. And I kind of knew it coming in. And what's great is it lived up to all of the expectations. Again, my only complaints is alchemy could have been a little cooler. The combat system could have been a little different, just a little more smooth. But I don't want that to take away from this game at all. This is wonderful. I plan to put the 50 hours in and complete at least the main quest. But I'll tell you, I'm getting caught up in the side quests. The most recent quest I did, there was a pack of wolves surrounding something. And I was a little nervous. I was like, there's like 5 or 6 wolves. I'm like, I don't want to get into that. And they're level 9 wolves. I'm only level 6. So I'm like, But then I'm like, let me just see what they're like surrounding something. I saved it, or I fought them. I saved a dog, and then the dog helped me figure out what happened to its owners, and there was a key, and I just felt like I helped out. I don't know. So I'm really getting into the side quests, which, man, that means I'm going to be spending, 100 plus hours on this game, which sounds daunting, but really enjoyed this game. I'm so happy I finally started this journey of playing this game. And who knows, maybe we'll do a follow-up down the road when I beat this game of how it's been and so forth. But remember, this game review is just for 1 week of gameplay. I've got about 16 hours in this week, and I definitely, like I said, will get more in. So thanks for being here. Hopefully this helps you. If you haven't played this game, if you had, hopefully you feel the same way. And if you don't, I would love to hear some comments and your thoughts of how this could have been scored differently. I will be playing a new game every Friday live until the end of the year, and new game that I haven't played. And so every week we're picking something that maybe I'm trying to spice it up. So 1 week it's a scary game, 1 week it's an RPG like this. A couple weeks ago we did the librarian game, that was super fun. So if you have the time and availability, would love to have you on the live stream on Fridays. And if not, every Thursday we will be presenting the review of that game and telling you what we think. So thanks for being here. I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time.